Welcome to In the Zone. Dave Delgado here with Pete Perez, pitcher for Team Guam. Recently winning the gold medal in the Micronesia Baseball Classic at the Paseo Stadium. Now, first off, welcome back home. And let's talk about that Guam team that you were a part of, spending time with the family here, and you're fortunate enough it fit into your schedule.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for having me. Like I said, we talked earlier, it fit kind of perfectly with my time being here, and it was just, really nice for me to finally represent, home. And some of the older guys on that team were guys that I grew up with and grew up playing ball with, and even there was at least two of the guys there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure two that we went to the Little League World Series back in '03. So, it's pretty fun to play with those guys again, play with some of the guys I played against for multiple years, when we were younger, and finally we could, be all on the same team.
So, playing Little League Baseball here on the island, you moved to Sacramento around 13 years old?
Yep, so I left here my freshman year, so I think I was 14. Went to 1 year at St. Paul, and then I left. I went to go live with my Uncle Ray, my dad's younger brother, in Sacramento.
And then from playing high school ball there in Sacramento, you had some college playing time over there in Texas.
Yeah, so I finished my high school career in Sacramento, and then I also went to a junior college in Sacramento as well. Spent a few years there, and then I went from the junior college in California over to Texas.
Let's talk about how you got that look at the Atlanta Braves farm system in 2013. How'd you hear about getting that call up and being able to represent the club?
So I was in Texas. I was actually where I went to college at in Stephenville, and one of my managers called me. It was like 10:30 at night, and he called me and he's just like, "Hey man, how's it going? What are you up to?" And it was just another normal night. I was just hanging out in my apartment. Nothing really going on, and I told him just exactly what I was doing, just hanging out. And he goes, "Well, the Braves are going to purchase your contract, so you're going to be getting a phone call from one of their front office guys to kind of continue on and go forth on what you need to do." And, he just congratulated me and all that stuff. So, of course I was kind of excited, but at the same time I really didn't know what to expect. So, when we got off the phone there, I actually waited until I got the phone call from who I needed to talk to with Atlanta. And when they, told me, congratulations, we're sending you all this stuff. Told me when I need to be in Orlando for spring training, and just give me everything I need, all the details. Got off the phone with that guy, and then I started calling my family. called my college coach to let him know as well, and just thanking them for getting me to that point, because they all had a big hand in everything I'm doing even till this day.
Yeah, and how many years were you with the farm system, and where did it take you after the Atlanta Braves?
So I spent 2 years there, and then I started to bounce around from different leagues, different organizations. I played in the Frontier League, the Can-Am League, Canadian American League. I played in the American Association League, which I'm in now. Played out of Mexico, and just from all those teams, it's from Cincinnati to Canada, Winnipeg, Canada, Trois-Rivières, Canada, Quebec, where Sean Cruz is at now. I've played in Chicago, and now currently I'm in Texas as well. So that's nice, because it kind of circled back around for me to be where I'm currently living in Dallas now, and I play in Arlington. So it's pretty nice. I don't have to be far from my kid. I get to see him pretty much every day, and then when we go on the road, I'm only gone for 8 to 10 days at a time. So.
Yeah, it must have been pretty hard. Your son's 4 now, but traveling and pursuing the love of the game and the sport you grew up loving, how challenging was that?
It was hard, but I knew what I needed to get done, and I've been doing it since 14. I left mom and dad, I left my brothers here, my sister, and just all my close friends. But at the same time, I knew I really had 2 things to accomplish: one, get my degree, and then 2, play baseball as long as I could. And I already got my degree, and now 29, and I'm still playing, going on my, I think it's 8th or 9th year, So I've been pretty blessed and really lucky. Great support system. And, I just kind of, you have to enjoy the process and enjoy the grind of the in-season wear and tear, the off-season grind. And, just know that you're trying to trying to accomplish a dream, and you don't want to give up on it just yet. Especially when you feel like you're doing pretty well.
A lot more kids here on the island are getting looked at, are getting scholarships at different colleges. And how important is it for them to really take advantage of their athletic ability and making sure that they do get that degree and school comes first?
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% correct. School will always come first. It's always nice to have that degree because, no matter how good you are, whether you're a Hall of Famer at any sport, it's eventually going to come to an end. And you always want to have a plan B or plan C, something to fall back on just in case, because one injury away and your career could be over. And, you don't want to not have your degree already. You don't want to, not have a backup plan. And then, if you're able to get school paid for and help your parents out with, tuition, you might as well let the ability and all that hard work show off and, take advantage of the money the school is willing to give you for it. So.
Well, for that Team Guam roster, yourself throwing 90-plus, Sean Cruz also throwing in the 90s, Guam has been able to put out some pretty good talent as far as the pitching side.
Yeah, Ethan was, I think he threw game one against Saipan. He threw really well. Gavin threw game one against Ponape, did really well. So there's a lot of the young bucks coming up, and they're starting to, pitch, learn a little bit. And, I mean, for me, I also knew part of my job not only to help the team out, but just kind of, give a little bit of advice to the pitchers and to the hitters and stuff. And, when I can, I did. And if they came up to ask for any advice, I definitely give it to them. And just, the main thing for me was just not trying to give them too much in a small period of time, and just the minor adjustments that would make more of a major change than trying to change completely everything. So, it was just fun. It was a good time for me to give back to some of the kids that were on my team and, just be able to represent where I'm from.
And as a pitcher, it's really hard to make it in the league, but what were your strengths that helped and allowed you to get this far in your career?
Well, for the most part, I've been pretty healthy in my career. I did have one hiccup and, got hurt, but for the most part, when I got into college in Texas, my coach, Brian Conger, he was big on the mental part of the game and just being mentally tough and not letting the game speed up too quick. And that really will separate, guys from top to bottom and, really make yourself stand out. Just because the game can speed up, there's a few times where we'll – in the game, you go down by 3 runs or 4 runs, and all of a sudden, you're just walking guys left and right. You're not taking good at bats. You're not, you're making errors, and just learning how to breathe and relax and know that you're gonna make it up for it. You're gonna have another opportunity, and just try to slow the game down a little bit.
And what's the fastest you've been clocked at?
I think it was back in 2015 or 16. I'm not really sure, but supposedly I got up to 98. So I'm hoping I can get back there again. It'd be pretty nice, but usually I'm pretty consistent around the 4 to 5 when healthy and when I first started with Atlanta. But now I would say I'm anywhere from like 2 to 4. But for the most part, as long as I'm throwing strikes, I'm pretty happy with that.
Let's put you in a situation. Bases loaded, full count, game on the line. What's your go-to pitch?
Well, so in 17 I learned a two-seam, which I really fell in love with. I've always been a fastball changeup guy, but this past year it's been really helping me get out a lot of jams. So I would honestly say probably my two-seam, just because I get a lot of ground balls out of it. And for me, I'm more of a pitcher trying to pitch to contact and let the guys behind me work. So I'd probably go to the two-seam.
So you leave Island straight to training, or where do you go now?
So I'm going back to Dallas. Going to go start doing my lessons and coaching with one of the high schools that I coach with out there. And then towards the end of February, we'll start training and everything.
I appreciate you coming on the show. Social media tags, how can people follow you on your journey?
Pete Perez _21, I believe. I'm not really on it too often. Every now and then I'll post, a few things. Most of it's of my boy, of course, but that way, and then Facebook as well, Pete Perez, and just follow me on that.
All right. We'll see you next time for In the Zone.
Appreciate it.
This week's Athlete of the Week, Pete Perez, pitcher for Team Guam, represented for the Micronesia Baseball Classic, where Guam took the gold medal. Thanks for coming on the show. Okay, so that's good. All right, so who you want to donate your check to?
The Guam Cancer Care. I don't.
That's it. So I'll say, who do you want to donate your check to? Just say, I'll be donating it to Guam Cancer Care. All right, who you want to donate your check to?
I'll be donating it to the Guam Cancer Care.
Shoot, that's it. That's it.